Greetings, this is This and I Am Me, and I had these boots for a while and they were looking pretty ratty and old, and I thought I should bedazzle these. Look at the toes, they're all chewed up. Before we get into why I'm bedazzling and more about that, here's the colors. I have like a silver color here, not normal diamond but silver, a blue sort of flame color, it turns blue and purple and pink, rose gold, sort of a sunset color, it's pink, orange, yellow, green, a gunmetal, the classic Aurora Borealis sort of iridescent color, and this pinkish, purplish, greenish color. Those are the colors that I chose. I'll get into that a little bit later, but first, we're going to be going through a couple of shots here and a couple of different angle changes because I could not figure out which angle was best to use. But as you can see, I'm starting here, lining up the gems. I did have a specific pattern that I was using, of like an order color-wise. And I just started at the top and we're just going for it. So all the dots that you're seeing on one half of the toe there are not guiding me, okay? I put those dots there just to try to count about how many gems I would need, because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough gems, so I was just putting dots every so often on half of the toe, and then I multiplied that by 2, but then there's 2 toes, so I multiplied it by 4 actually to figure out the number of gems that I would maybe need. And I was trying to actually put the dots closer together than I thought I would have the gems be to, you know, sort of overestimate to make sure that I would have enough. So I'm just going freestyle, guys. The dots are not there as a guide. Okay. But yes, so these boots, I have had them for multiple years, and the toes were getting all chewed up and, you know, they were looking ratty, and I thought I could bedazzle these and they would look fresh and awesome and great. And even if they do still look kind of old, they'll look like I got them at a really cool thrift store, you know, one-of-a-kind boots that nobody else has. And they were completely I got my money's worth out of them from all of the first time that I wore them. I got them at Target. They weren't that expensive, but then I wore them a lot. But they're still in pretty good condition. And then I spent about $10 on these Hot Fix gems on Amazon. And all in all, I will have used about half of them, I think. I think there was 1,680 that I bought of 12 different colors. I used 7 of the 12 colors, and I will have ended up using about 900 gems by the time we are done this, guys. I know, it's exciting. So the reason that I picked the gems that I picked and the colors that I picked is because I was going for sort of a neutral rainbow aesthetic, okay? Because I wanted them to be colorful. I wanted them to, you know, to have multiple colors in them, but also to not be sort of screaming rainbow or screaming any specific color, because I could have just done a mixture of normal colored gems, but I thought that would it might look too much like, oh, there's red gems in here and so I should wear these boots with red, or oh, there's, you know, blue gems so I should wear them with blue. So instead I tried to stay away from that and go with all of the colors that I chose are either like a metal, so like there's the silver ones, the gunmetal ones, and the rose gold ones, or they're like some version of an iridescent one, so they're not just a solid color. There's the blue ones that they're bluish, and then they're purplish, and then they're pinkish, and then there's those yellowy green but also pink and orange ones. When I saw them online, I was like, these gems are beautiful, and I bet if I combined them, it would look gorgeous. And so then also, when I was doing the white dots there to try and guess how many gems I would need, I was calculating, okay, how many of these colors am I going to have to use in order to get that many gems? And it was looking like 7. I needed to find a color combo of 7 different color gems to get the amount of gems that I thought that I needed. Now, I said that they're Hot Fix gems, so what you're watching me doing, if you're not familiar with bedazzling, I basically, these are Hot Fix gems, which means they like affix onto things with heat. So they have a glue on the backs of them, and the tool that I'm using is basically just a very, very hot like it just heats up and it's hot, and it has that little tip at the end that you just hold on top of the gem, and it melts the glue underneath on the bottom, and so then the gems are glued onto the item. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm not like puncturing. When I used to think bedazzling, I would think puncturing through something, but that's not this kind of bedazzling. This is hot fix gems. They're just being glued on with heat. And so in a lot of these, you know, throughout this process, you might see my fingers getting very close to that thing there. If you are in any way not a very careful person, please don't get your fingers that close to it. I am an extremely careful person. I'm like, I can eat at my computer type of person, you know, whereas some other people are like, don't get any liquids near my computer, I will end up spilling it. So I'm very careful. So if you're not careful, please keep your hands away from that thing. It's extremely hot. And then also, as you can see, I'm using my hands rather than at the very, very, very start. I had some tweezers that I was using. Those came with the gems, those tweezers. And oh my god, they are so unbelievably sharp. They will stab you. They're sharper than a needle. It was horrifying, and they were like getting caught on the boot. They were so sharp. So I just used my fingers instead. It was a bit of a process to get. I did the top first because it was flat, and then I had to turn to the side to do one side, flip them to the other side to do the other side, and then as you can see, I've got the boot propped up to do the toe, and then voila, guys, there you have it. Beautiful gem encrusted toe of boot. I'm giving you all the beauty shots, all the glamour shots to try and really let you guys see the iridescent colors here. So get ready for a lot of close-ups like this. I'm going to go through quite a few because I kept thinking that the lighting was better in different shots. And then here they are. Beautiful, and it's being compared to the old boot here. Not the old boot, but you know, the other unbedazzled toe boot. Yep, just a beautiful, beautiful toe. I wanted there to be like as many gems as possible on this toe. And yeah, see, look at the ugly one in the background there. Ew, gross. And then here's another close-up. And you can see a chewed up toe on the other side. So see how much nicer that looks, guys? And for $10 for the gems, but then I only used about half of the gems, so that's $5. So it kind of is like finding a super awesome pair of one-of-a-kind boots at a thrift store, because they are still worn, but they're also, you can still get more wear out of them for only $5. It's super awesome. And then yes, so I had all these gems, guys, but it turns out, or like I used all these gems, but it turns out I only used about half the gems that I thought I would use, or that I thought I would need. So I bedazzled both toes of the boots, and then, guys, little surprise, surprise, I bedazzled something else. Yeah, there's the close-up of the chunk taken out of the toe. Okay, I get it. Voila, though. I bedazzled the backs, too, because I had extra gems. So there was, like, that shape that is on the back is, like, the shape that the, you know, leather, or I don't know if these boots are made out of actual leather, whatever they're made out of, you know, boot material. It's in that shape on the back, so I just followed the curve of that shape and bedazzled the backs of the boots too, which honestly I think really like evens out the boot nicely, because before it kind of just looked like a whole bunch of sparkliness on the toe and then nothing else anywhere else. So with the back bedazzled, it also really levels out, evens out the boot, you know, it's not as front heavy anymore. I know, look at I just keep showing the sparkles, but they're beautiful. Okay, and there's the back. Also did that freehand, guys. I know they're a little crinkly, but it's fine. And yeah, there you have it. So that, I'm counting both shoes, front and back, was about 900 gems, guys. Just, you know, for your information. And one last glamour shot. There you go. You can see front and back together, so you can see now how they're a little bit more balanced out. Doesn't that look beautiful? And that's all I have for you guys. I just wanted to bedazzle my boots, and so I did, and I think they look great. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye now.